Knives are cool. And axes too. Hey everybody, Robert Breaker here. I've got a neat knife for you today, and I guess a cool little story too. I believe this knife was sent to me by one of my viewers many years ago, but pre-knife channel, before this channel. I've got another channel where I'm preaching. I'm a preacher. I preach and teach the Word of God. Robert Breaker channel, my name. And years ago, somebody said, man, I think you like knives. I said, yeah, knives are cool. I like them. And they sent me this in the mail. This is a SOG. SOG stands for Special Operations Group or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. And this is a SOG specialty knife. This is called the Pentagon. And this knife is pretty amazing. So let me show you this knife, and let me just say, man, I love my viewers. I love it when they send me stuff. And this is an interesting knife. But let me just say, if this was a self-defense knife, I would sure hate to be on the other end of the guy that's trying to do me harm if I have to pull this out and defend myself, because it's got two different sides, and one is just a standard dagger side, the other is serrated. So imagine if you had to thrust somebody in there who's trying to kill you and you're trying to get away, you would do a lot of damage with both sides actually. So let's get in here and look at this. This is called the Sog Pentagon, and get on that side if you would. Sog Specialty Knives. And over on the other side, if you can zoom in, oh, does it say it? No, it doesn't say the Pentagon. It says Saki Japan, S-A-K-I Japan. But this says the style known as the Pentagon.
I can see it.
Okay, good. You did see it? Oh, well, let's see the words. Let me hold it up. Does that help? Saki Japan. See the words right there. Sometimes they're hard to see.
Yep.
So this was made in Japan. And the thing I like about it is the handle. It's a very simple handle. This is basically a dagger, and that handle feels really good. It's rubber. That's actually rubber, but it's not exactly perfect. It's perfectly flush on this side. On this side, it's not. One side's higher than the other. So I don't know if I like that. It should be, for quality purposes, it should be flush all the way around, and for some reason it's not. But it's got this piece here and this piece here, which is for your thumb. And so I guess if you're cutting like that, you got a place to put your thumb without it slipping, because you certainly don't want to slip onto that. This side is a regular bevel, and it's very sharp. This side is serrated. So if this is what it's intended to be, a self-defense knife, man, if you cut somebody with that, this kind of serration, if you cut somebody with that, it's going to make a wound that's almost impossible to sew up, because it's not perfectly straight on either side. It's going to be jagged, and that's very hard to fix a wound that's made by a serration, especially if you're in there cutting around. So this is kind of an ominous knife to me, kind of a scary knife, if you will. But if this is an everyday tool for you and not self-defense, well, you've got an option. You pull this out and you flip it over, and you can do whatever you want, like feathering and things like that. Oh, I want to cut some rope. Flip it over. This is great for cutting rope. So SOG is known for making tools that are for tools, but also known for making military type knives. So is this something that they would use in the military? Does this kind of remind you a little bit of the Fairbairn Sykes dagger that I did from World War II? Good question. But I like the sheath. The sheath is amazing. The sheath is great. And this back piece here, very strong for putting on your belt. So you can carry this thing around on your belt, and all it does is snap. It has a great snap, and it snaps so tight it does not move much. You can put some paracord in here if you'd like. That's just a really nice knife. And these are not cheap. If you want to, go to the internet, look up Sog Pentagon, and I believe that's what this one's called, if I remember correctly, the Sog Pentagon. Look that up, and you'll see the price, and you'll probably be a little shocked. And I just feel honored to have received this from someone who gifted this to me. Was that from New York? I believe it was someone from New York. You know who you are. Thank you for this knife. And what a cool thing to have. And wow, I mean, will I ever carry it? Will I ever use it? I don't know. It's so sharp. And then that serrated side, I don't know. But it's good to have in my collection, and it's very neat. Now, the only thing that I don't like about it is that this rubber, as it gets older, the rubber gets sticky. You ever had like a hoe grip? And it's so great when you first get it, but as it gets older, it starts to feel sticky. Well, that's what this feels like. This rubber has kind of a sticky feel to it. It's not too bad, but it's enough that it kind of feels sticky. Maybe that's the humidity, I don't know. But this feels good in your hand. It moves in your hand easy. It's got a good weight to it. The handle is indeed weighted. I have to use 2 fingers. I can't put one. Well, there's kind of one, but I'm still off that way a little bit. But it's got a weighted handle, and feels good in your hand. And this would make a great self-defense knife, especially in the zombie apocalypse. Very, very strong clip, as I said, and that fits real well on your belt. So, Sog Pentagon, have you heard of them? Do you know anything about them? Do you have one? Can you still find them? Are they still making these? I saw one time at a show that was like, they called it a mini Pentagon, and it was about that long. So it had a couple inches off of it, so they made a smaller one. But this is indeed the longer one. So come on in on this side, zoom in on it. I'm done. Stick a fork in me, I'm done if you will. But I just wanted you to see this, see what you think of it. And that serrated edge is cool, I guess. But if you were to use this in self-defense, you would make a wound on a person that was almost impossible to sew correctly. And this is a kind of a scary thing. This could do a lot of damage. So I would not want to use this as self-defense. I would use this more as a tool for cutting and things like that. But if it's the end of the world and zombie apocalypse and society has fallen, man, this would be a great knife to carry around. It would go in pretty deep in the skull of a zombie and get rid of his brains, if you will. But it would also be a weapon to defend yourself from ravaging hordes of evil people who are pillaging and plundering as you want to defend yourself. So, Sog Pentagon, what do you think? Can't wait to see your comments, to see what you think about it. Let me know if you have one of these. Let me know what you paid for it. And let me know if you like it and if yours is sticky too. And that's the only thing, is I don't like sticky rubber. And that's what happened to this one. So, all right, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Knives are cool, and axes too.
Bullseye.